Que Tucker, happy state championship week. Long road to get here, and we're here. Cool venue this year at the Grand Over, very nice.
Yeah, it really is, and we're grateful that we were able to do it here. Kind of adds a little something special, and it is unbelievable that here we are, getting ready to play state championships in football.
It's actually starting to snow out here, I see, so it's kind of a really unique setting right now.
That's not real good, but if you contrast that to August 1 when it was really, really hot,
you're right.
So now we're preparing for it, and we got snow coming, so it just kind of shows you how it has changed.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to talk about the just the scheduling of this week. The game time is happening on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. People have had a lot of questions about it, on why it is this way. I think, for me and Evan at HighSchoolOT, we see what your staff does at these events, so we understand the kind of the ways that you're pulled in all these different directions. Now, it might be hard to have games overlapping, right?
Exactly.
So I want to give you kind of a chance to explain the venues this year and why it's happening, at what times it's happening.
Okay, well, first of all, when we knew we had 8 classifications, we always began, regardless, even when we were 4 classifications, you always are reaching out to the venues. Our traditional venues have been those universities such as UNC, NC State, and we've used Duke and Wake Forest even in the past. NC State, unfortunately, had conflicts in terms of us being able to be in, that state, Carter Finley Stadium, and certainly we're disappointed. They're disappointed, but that was just not available to us. So when we started looking for other venues, we were pleased that Lenore Ryan, stepped in. We had even talked to, the Panthers, but that didn't work out as well. Just, logistically, there's some things like that, and our TV partner is Sinclair, and one of the things that they like to do is to be able to broadcast games live. And when you have overlapping contests, it makes that difficult for them, and we know a lot of people are not going to be able to attend, and they would be able to watch it. Now, we're playing on Thursday and Friday at UNC, which is really kind of abnormal. UNC has a basketball game on Saturday, and they were willing to host 4 games for us. And with that in mind, with the basketball game on Saturday, it was going to make it difficult to do 4 games on Saturday. We would have had to put one of those on Friday night. Well, then you've got other games that you've got to get in, and therein is that overlapping possibility. So Carolina was willing to kind of think outside of the box for us, and when we started looking at everything, they said, well, what about Thursday, Friday? And we obviously threw that out as a possibility as well. They talked about it and said, we think we can make that happen. You've got exams going on that campus, but they were willing to work with us at 4 and 8 o'clock on both of those days. And we're fortunate that we have the venues we have, and we're fortunate that we have people who want to host our state championships. So this is the first time for the 8. So it's a learning experience for us as well. And as soon as these are over, we'll start the process for next year, trying to see if we can get NC State to be back in the mix. And if they can hold 4, then, and Carolina can hold 4, then we're good to go.
What's your message to people who are worried about the 4 o'clock start, worried about getting off of work and the kids being taken out of school? What's your message to them?
Well, our message is, one, it is education-based athletics, and we understand. We value education. I mean, you could do away with athletics, but the educational process is going to go on. However, for some of the teams that will be playing, this may be the first away game that they've had. For example, we know that Robbinsville is playing in that 4 o'clock game. That's a long trip for them, we know. But they were the number 1 seed in the West, and they've been at home the entire time, have not had to travel. So this is just a one-time travel for them. Would we like to change it if we could? Yeah. But we also know that our 1As and our 8As have had the longest prep time than anybody else. And so, again, that was just kind of a natural to think about putting those teams in that first game. And then why 4 o'clock for your farther away team? Well, it allows them to play that earlier game and then get on the road, perhaps get back to Graham County before it gets so awfully late, and then hopefully they can, get into school maybe a little bit later, but they still have an opportunity for school on Friday.
Yeah, that late game would probably be for like 3 or 4 in the morning for them getting back. That'd be tough.
That's exactly
that'd be tough.
Right. It would be tough.
Yeah. I want to give you a chance to kind of explain what does your staff do at these state championships, because we see everything that you guys do, just kind of like organized chaos almost in a positive way.
Right.
Just kind of explain to people what all your staff does and all the moving parts in terms of getting the schools organized, working with the venues, everything that goes into it.
Well, obviously it started several weeks ago when we started pulling together all of the materials that we needed to bring for the press conference, for this media briefing, their certificates of participation, getting their credentials, so counting out how many you need for each site, making sure that once the teams are set, that we've got them in the right bins, and then that we have whatever we're taking to give to the teams, to give to the coaches, working with our merchandiser to try to get the names of participants, to try to get the coaches' names so that on their plaques we've got the right coach's name on the correct plaque that we're going to be giving out today. And then as we're working then with each venue, we had ops meetings. So everywhere we will be playing this week, we spent time at the venue, looking at the locker rooms, trying to see how it would flow in terms of where do we bring in the teams, where will we do the press conference at the conclusion of a contest, what about concession stands, will there have to be parking, where will we park the buses, and then once we know all of that, then we've got to get it in a notebook that's in some organized fashion for us to be able to share it with the media. You have credentials for those non-players. You've got credentials for your school admin who we want to be on the field at the end of the contest. We want to let some special school people in, so trying to make sure we have all of that. So it is a massive undertaking. And now once we finish today, you think, okay, your work is done. Well, no, we get back in the office later today and then tomorrow and Wednesday, and then we'll be working to try to pull together to make sure we've got all of the coolers that have to travel to the various venues, trying to make sure that the cups are in place. We've got to make sure that we have an EMS at each one of the locations. We have athletic trainers. We'll have an athletic trainer that we have worked with or that we've reached out to say, hey, will you serve as our trainer? Making sure those people are in place on game day, having hosts to meet the teams so that when they come up on the parking lot, they know where to go once they get off the bus. It's a lot that goes on, and football is a little bigger because you've got more participants. You've got more football players than, let's say, your basketball team. Maybe you're only talking 18, 19 players, whereas with football, you're talking in excess maybe of 30 players. And you got your cheerleaders, you got the band. So we have to make sure that they know their role in all of this because we consider them important as well.
So for you at home, it's not just a snap of your fingers to make it all happen.
Hey, I'd love to just be able to snap my finger and it would happen, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. It means we have some work to do.
For sure. Before I let you go, I want to get your initial impressions of the 8 classifications. What surprised you about it, and just what are the main developments for you from your perspective?
Well, what has surprised me is that obviously it has been a little bit more well received than I really thought. I thought that there would be some people who would question the fact that, well, some of them are watered down. For example, you don't have as many 8A teams. Of course, there are only 32 of them to start with. But that your 1As, not as many 1A football teams made the playoffs. But that's been much more accepting than I thought it would be. I've been pleased that the coaches seem to have embraced it. The RPI, when we were seeding, that went extremely well. We were able to get back in on that Sunday afternoon and calm the nerves of coaches who thought they weren't going to know until that Monday morning. But once we were able to get in and do that, it went extremely well. Even seeding 8 classes, that went well. So that was surprising. I think as we move forward, the kinds of things we'll continue to talk about will be just venue availability.
Logistics stuff,
logistics. So many people think that colleges will just embrace us coming, but it doesn't work that way. They have things that go on their campuses. We have a lot of colleges in North Carolina, for sure, but not all of them can host us.
Yeah.
Not all of them, their schedules will allow it. For
Yeah.
example, we were at Guilford College this year, first time
Right.
ever with any kind of a state championship. But it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Very intimate setting. Spectators seem to enjoy it. And you talk about having to schedule outside of the box. We played some of those soccer contests at 2:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
But fans really, they came, they supported, and that's been surprising to me as well. Is the fan participation has been there, even though we're now having to play up in what is the school day.
Well, Que Tucker, appreciate it. I'll let you get back to all the busy stuff you have going on this week, and take care until we see you again later this week.
Thank you very much, and we certainly appreciate you helping tell the story of high school athletics, education-based athletics.
Thank you.